Be prepared and live in readiness for any event. Are you worried about the upcoming recession? You're not alone. Let's take a moment to look at the economic landscape around us. Stocks have taken a nosedive, down 10% from their recent peaks. A chill runs down the spine of Wall Street, as fear climbs to levels not seen since last year's bear market. But it's not just the average Joe feeling the tremors. 84% of America's top CEOs, those at the helm of our economic ship, are sounding the alarm bells. They're calling for a recession. So, what is a recession? It's a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced. It's generally identified by a fall in GDP in 2 successive quarters. But in plain English, it's a rough patch for the economy. Recessions can be a scary time. Jobs become scarcer, businesses close their doors, and people's hard-earned savings can dwindle. It's a time when the financial rug can be pulled out from under us, leaving many feeling vulnerable and uncertain. But why are people so concerned now? Well, the signs are all around us. There are rumblings in the stock market, a key indicator of economic health. Plus, there's that chorus of top CEOs predicting a downturn. And let's not forget the ever-present news cycle, which can often feel like a doom and gloom echo chamber. The headlines scream of impending economic disaster, and it's hard not to feel a knot of worry in your stomach. But here's the thing, recessions are a natural part of the economic cycle. They've happened before, and they'll happen again. The key is being prepared. It's a bit like weathering a storm. You wouldn't stand outside in a tornado without a coat, would you? Of course not. You'd take steps to protect yourself. The same principle applies when it comes to a recession. The good news is, there are ways to brace yourself against the economic downturn. It's not about hiding your money under the mattress. It's about understanding the situation, making smart decisions, and taking proactive steps to safeguard your financial future. But fear not, there are ways to brace yourself against the economic downturn. First things first, understanding the basics is key. Let's break down the fundamentals of what a recession actually is. Simply put, a recession is a period of temporary economic decline during which trade and industrial activity are reduced, generally identified by a fall in gross domestic product in 2 successive quarters. It's part of the economic cycle that includes expansion, peak, recession, and recovery. Now you might ask, what does the stock market have to do with all of this? Well, the stock market is often seen as a barometer of a country's economic health. When the economy is doing well, companies make profits, and their stock prices go up. But when the economy takes a downturn, profits fall, and so do stock prices. It's important to remember, though, that the stock market is not the economy. While they're connected, they're not the same thing. Let's also talk about the role of government in the economy. Governments have tools to influence the economy like fiscal policy, that's government spending and taxation, and monetary policy, which involves controlling the money supply and interest rates. These can be used to stimulate the economy during a recession. It's also worth debunking a few common misconceptions about recessions. First off, not all recessions lead to a financial crisis. Recessions are a normal part of the economic cycle, and most are relatively mild. Second, recessions are not always bad for everyone. While they can lead to job losses and financial hardship, they can also create opportunities for investors and businesses who are prepared. And lastly, not every economic downturn is a recession. It's only considered a recession if the economic decline is widespread and lasts more than a few months. So, while it's natural to worry when you hear negative economic news, remember that a few bad months doesn't necessarily mean we're heading for a recession. Now that we've got the basics down, let's move on to how you can protect yourself. Building a recession-proof portfolio is a crucial step in protecting your finances. Just as a good captain prepares his ship for all weathers, a smart investor prepares their portfolio for all economic conditions. So, how do we build this sturdy recession-proof portfolio? The first word in your financial defense playbook should be diversification. Diversification, in the world of investing, means spreading your investments across various asset classes, sectors, and geographical locations. This strategy helps reduce the risk associated with a single investment or a group of investments. Think of it as not putting all your eggs in one basket. Now, a balanced portfolio goes hand in hand with diversification. It's about having a mix of different types of investments, which can provide a balance between risk and reward. This mix can include stocks, bonds, commodities, real estate, and even cash. The key is to adjust the proportion of each type based on your financial goals, risk tolerance, and investment horizon. This brings us to another significant concept: safe haven assets. Safe haven assets are investments that are expected to hold or increase their value during market downturns. They act as a kind of financial shelter during stormy economic times. Classic examples of safe haven assets include gold, government bonds, and sometimes even certain currencies. However, it's important to note that safe haven assets are not a guaranteed way to avoid losses. They are simply tools that can help mitigate risk. They are not meant to replace a well-diversified, balanced portfolio, but to complement it. To wrap it all up, building a recession-proof portfolio involves diversification, maintaining a balanced portfolio, and considering safe haven assets. It's about being prepared for the ups and downs of the market and having a plan in place to navigate through the rough waters of a recession. Remember, the goal here is not to make a quick buck, but to safeguard your financial future. Building a recession-proof portfolio is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about long-term financial security, not short-term gains. So take your time, do your research, and make informed decisions. Your future self will thank you. Another key aspect of recession-proofing is smart saving and spending. Now let's delve into this. When it comes to saving money effectively, it's not about stashing every single penny under your mattress. It's about strategic saving. Think about setting aside a portion of your income regularly, even if it's just a small amount. Over time, these small amounts can accumulate into a substantial nest egg. But how can you save money if you're spending it all? That's where smart spending comes into play. It's about distinguishing between your needs and wants. Needs are things that are essential for your survival and well-being. Wants, on the other hand, are things that you desire but can live without. By focusing your spending on needs rather than wants, you can significantly cut unnecessary expenses. Trimming down on discretionary spending can also help. This includes expenses on non-essential items like vacations, dining out, or the latest tech gadgets. While these are nice to have, they can eat into your savings if not kept in check. Remember, every dollar saved is a dollar earned. These savings can serve as your emergency fund. An emergency fund is a stash of money set aside to cover the financial surprises life throws your way. It's commonly advised to have around 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. Avoiding debt is another important aspect of smart saving and spending. High-interest debt, such as credit card debt, can be particularly devastating. It can eat into your income, leaving you with less money to save. Try to pay off your debts as soon as possible and avoid incurring new ones. Creating a budget can also help. A budget is a plan for how to spend your money. It can help you keep track of your income and expenses and ensure that you're living within your means. By being mindful of your spending, you can build a financial buffer that will help you weather the storm. The key is to start now. The earlier you start, the better prepared you'll be for whatever the economy throws your way. Sometimes it helps to have a professional on your side. In the face of an economic downturn, consulting with a financial advisor can be a game changer. These professionals have the expertise to guide you through the complexities of the financial world, helping you make informed decisions that align with your financial goals. So, how do you find a reliable advisor? Start by seeking referrals from your network. Do your due diligence by checking their credentials and track record. Remember, a good advisor should be able to explain the financial strategies in a way that's easy to understand. Also, consider their fee structure. Some advisors charge a flat fee, while others take a percentage of the assets they manage. Be sure to ask about this up front to avoid any surprises. Finally, trust your gut. You want someone who not only has the expertise, but also the integrity and transparency you need. Remember, it's always okay to ask for help when you need it. If you find value in the content, go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so yet. Hit the notification bell so you will get our videos as we upload them, and a comment is always welcome. Share with your friends so they too can prepare. Thanks. Let's recap what we've learned today. We started by understanding the looming threat of a recession, how it's not just a scary word, but a real economic phenomenon that can impact us all. Then we delved into the basics of economics, the ebb and flow of markets, and how understanding these can help us navigate precarious times. We discussed the importance of building a recession-proof portfolio, one that is diversified and resilient. We emphasized the value of smart saving and spending, of being conscientious about where our money goes, and how it can help us weather financial storms. Lastly, we explored the invaluable role of seeking professional advice. Because sometimes, having a seasoned expert by your side can make all the difference. While a recession can be daunting, with the right strategies and mindset, you can ensure that you're well prepared. Remember, the storm will pass.